and thank you for joining the calendar year 2019 Housing Choice Voucher Funding Implementation webcast. I'm Miguel Fontanez, Director, FMD, and with me today are another presenters from the FMD. Andrea Benjamin, she's a financial analyst, Rachel Kennedy, program analyst, and also Yasandra Deya, financial analyst. The purpose of today's broadcast is to brief all participating housing agencies administering the Housing Choice Voucher program about the provisions enacted in the 2019 Appropriations Act, specifically for the Housing Choice Voucher program. Before I go into that specific details and all the information we have for you, I also want to mention somebody behind the camera today. Her name is Roma Soler. Roma Soler has been with the department for 30 years. And guess what? Roma Soler is retiring in 2019. And we didn't want to lose this opportunity to say thank you, Roma, for all those years dedicated to the Department of Housing, specifically for the Housing Choice Voucher program. Roma Soler is one of the smartest, happiest, and passionate employees that we ever known. At least I've known her for 15 years, the time that I've been with the department. And she's been accountable for calculating your renewal allocations every single year, making sure that accurate and timely funding gets to your housing agency so you can continue serving 2.2 million families across the nation. Thank you, Roma. We wish you the best. I wish you enjoy your retirement to the fullest and going to trips and to flower festivals that I know you love a lot. I know everybody here on the panel wish you the best. So let's go into the information we have for housing agencies today. We're going to cover, today's topics will be the voucher renewal funding. We're going to brief you on how we calculated your funding for 2019. We're going to go over HAP set aside categories. They did not change from the categories we had in 2018. We're going to go over administrative fees as well, which is a very important topic for housing agencies. It is a big news for housing agencies on the administrative fees. It's $1.9 billion that we received this year, but I don't want to steal the thunder from Yasandra. She's going to go over that in detail. We're also going to go over new vouchers or new increments funding that was appropriated for 2019. These are tenant protection vouchers and special purpose vouchers like VASH, FOB, and a new mobility demonstration just enacted for 2019. At the end of the presentation, we're going to go over some compliance information that we know you know about, but we just want to remind you about those topics as well. Going forward, I want to brief you on what transpired during the beginning of the calendar year when we did not have an Appropriations Act yet. HUD and all the federal agencies operated under a continuing resolution during that period. Allotments were received based on funding. It's a continuing resolution so that we get the same amount of money we got in 2018 for the same period. So allotments were received at that level. Your January through May 2019 obligations, therefore, were based on those level of funding. We obligated funds to your housing agencies at 99% proration for HAP. And I believe we advanced administrative fees at the 79-80% proration. We actually went to your VMS data to determine an estimated eligibility in order to give you those obligations at 99%. So when we have the Appropriations Act enacted, we were very close to what you will receive under the Appropriations Act mandate. The Appropriations Act, Public Law 1166, was enacted on February 15, 2019. And I want to say thank you to all the housing agencies for staying with us when we had the government shutdown for 30 some days early in the year. We did not receive any letters from Congress, from housing agencies, from industry groups about families losing assistance. Thank you for keeping the fort. at the landlord's level and keeping the families in place. Thank God we did not have any feedback on families losing assistance during that time. The Appropriations Act is always summarized in a funding notice. A funding notice, by the time you see this broadcast, it will be published and you should have received an email telling you you are ready to review the 2019 funding implementation notice. So please look at that. If you have no time to look at that, make sure that your financial analyst and program analyst look at that funding notice thoroughly, because there are a lot of due dates for blended rates applications, higher admin fee rates applications, HAP set-aside applications, and admin fee set-aside applications. Going right into the total amount appropriated for 2019, the next slide show you that we, in 2019, the Housing Choice Voucher Program was appropriated $22.6 billion in total. $20.3 billion just for HAP, a big increase from what we received in 2018. It's obviously we got a lot of new vouchers in 2018. We needed the money to renew those vouchers in 2019, hence the increase in budget authority for 2019. $85 million for tenant protection vouchers. I believe this is the same amount we received in 2018. We have some carryover. We anticipate having over 15,000 new units that will need tenant protection vouchers this year. We will cover those units with that amount and a little bit of carryover money that we have. The big item in this budget is also the administrative fee amount, $1.9 billion, as I mentioned before. I'm not gonna steal a thunder from Sandra on the prorations and all the specific on the admin fee. But I think it's refreshing to see such amount. It's a good base for all housing agencies to start the calendar year 2018. $225 million for mainstream program. We received $505 million in 2018, which was the big surprise for housing agencies and HUD to get that such a big amount. And it was intended to serve at least 40,000 more mainstream program eligible families, non-elderly and disabled specifically. Mainstream program has served elderly, non-elderly disabled families for the longest time. By the way, Roma is the number one fan of this program. Roma, I know you're gonna miss serving these families in 2019 when you retire. I know you're not gonna miss, you're gonna be deheartened when you retire, but you're gonna be sad because you know you serve well that portfolio of families. Another line item that we received appropriation was for tribal VASH. That these funds are managed by the Office of Native American Program. They will continue to be served by that office. Also, Congress continued to support Veterans Affairs supportive housing. We got another $40 million under that category and $20 million for the Family Unification Program. I believe we got the same amount for Family Unification Program in 2018, so that amount repeat for 2019. Thank you for all those that applied for all these categories in the past years and are serving this portfolio of families. The new increment for 2019 is the mobility demonstration. The Management and Operations Division will be completing a Federal Register notice to give you guidance on how to apply for this program. I believe there's $5 million of the $25 million awarded is for new vouchers. Approximately 500 units or 500 vouchers will be awarded. But wait for that Federal Register notice to make sure that you applied on time for that, for these funds. Again, $22.6 billion is the total awarded for 2019. Now I'm going to leave you with Rachel Kennedy. She's going to continue talking about the voucher renewal funding and how we calculated your funding. Rachel.
Thank you, Miguel. The 2019 renewal appropriations provides an additional $713 million in funding compared to the 2018 renewal appropriations. The department is authorized to use up to $100 million of the CY 2019 renewal funding towards the HAP set-aside. Allocations were calculated per the Appropriations Act through the following steps. Step 1, re-benchmarking is completed based on HUD-validated leasing and HAP-reported VMS costs for CY 2018, ensuring not to exceed UMAs under ACC. Step 2, initial increments for TPVs and SPVs such as VASH that span 2018 and 2019 and are being renewed for the first time in 2019 are inflated for the portion of their initial increment BA that is applicable to months in CY 2019. Step 3, the renewal inflation factor adjusted by locality is then applied to the PHA's calculated 12-month renewal after all adjustments have been applied. Step 4, the national proration factor is then applied. It is set at 99.5%. Step 5, in order to increase the proration factor to 99.5%, an offset was necessary. The result of calculations completed in steps 1 through 5 is the CY 2019 prorated renewal funding. As a reminder to PHAs, may also have non-renewal funding and RMP available to support their CY 2019 needs. PHA's prorated renewal eligibility as described in steps 1 through 5 is compared to funds obligated for January through May of 2019. This step is taken since the renewal funds obligated for January through May were based on a CR, as the Appropriations Act had not yet been passed. Depending on the results of the comparison, one of two scenarios will occur. If HAP obligations through May of 2019 were less than the prorated eligibility after offset, the difference in funds is what will be obligated to the PHA. Or if obligations exceeded the prorated eligibility after offset, the excess will be reduced from their subsequent obligations throughout the remainder of the year. To provide some additional detail on the steps taken to calculate the CY 2019 HAP renewal funding, we'll go with step 1, re-benchmarking, which is based on submitted and validated CY 2018 HAP costs per VMS entries as of February 22nd. HAP costs are capped at 100% of the PHA's BA per their ACC to ensure the department doesn't fund over leasing. This is completed by dividing UMAs by UMLs. As an example of how capping is implemented, consider a PHA that has 1,000 UMAs, but their validated VMS shows they had 1,050 UMLs. This means we will only fund 0.95238 of their leasing. The VMS validated HAP costs for the same PHA were $1 million. These costs are multiplied by that 0.95238 to come up with a baseline eligibility of $952,380. Step 2, the adjustment for the first-time renewals are applied to new increments effective after January 1st, 2018, and are being renewed for the first time in 2019. Again, this adjustment only applies to new increment BA, inflated for the applicable months in 2019. Step 3, the renewal funding inflation factors specific to locality is applied to the PHA's calculated 12-month renewal requirement after all adjustments in Step 1 and Step 2 are applied. Step 4, the total HAP renewal funding eligibility for all PHAs determined in Steps 1 through 3 is compared to the total HAP renewal funds available per the 2019 Appropriations Act to determine the proration factor. If nationwide eligibility exceeds the funds appropriated, causing the proration to be less than 100%, then the proration factor is applied to each PHA's CY 2019 eligibility. Step 5, the Appropriations Act authorizes HUD to offset excess funds using RMP and program reserves to avoid or reduce the need for the proration of renewal funding and/or prevent the termination of assistance as the result of insufficient funding. In CY 2019, the department is exercising this offset authority to increase the proration level to 99.5%. The offset reallocation considered the December 31, 2018 reconciled HAP program reserves, and to the extent reserves were available, protected the following 9 categories from offset. 1, the difference between the PHA's eligibility and their prorated eligibility. 2, CY 2019 amounts needed to fully fund VASH calculated through unfunded VASH UMAs and the PHA's VASH PUC. 3, the difference between the higher of December 2018 UMLs multiplied by 12 months or CY 2018 UMLs to baseline for the units under ACC. 4, December UMLs capped. 5, CY 2018 new incremental BA, it's half of the award that's being protected. CY 2018 set-aside awards, again, this is also half of the award being protected. 7, a portion of the CY 2019 renewal eligibility is protected based on the number of units under CACC. For PHAs with 501 or more units, they're protected at 4%. Those with 251 to 500 units are protected at 6%, and PHAs with 250 or less units are protected at 20%. 8 is a new category for protection this year for PHAs with CY 2018 inflation factors that were higher than CY 2018 national weighted average inflator of 3.6%. The CY 2018 inflated renewal funding is compared to CY 2019 inflated renewal funding to determine the amount to protect for applicable PHAs. And 9, PHAs that received 2018 shortfall set-aside funds as well as 2017 disaster-impacted PHAs that applied for and were awarded disaster HAP set-aside funding were both exempt from this offset. The offset amount represents 52% of the total available reserves. Next, Andrea Benjamin will take over to discuss the renewal disbursements.
Thanks, Rachel. The calendar year 2019 disbursements are based on the PIH Notice 2017-06 cash management requirements. Housing authorities must still assess the level of program they can support for the calendar year based on the HAP funding, HUD-held reserves available, actual expenses, and projected expenses. Front loads will continue to be available up to the total budget authority obligated, plus available HAP reserves. The non-renewal disbursements will continue to be made based on the contract terms of the incremental awards and or the NOFA. A reconciliation of the total HAP disbursements to total HAP expenses are conducted twice annually. Up to $100 million of renewal appropriations is set aside to be used to augment renewal allocations. The purposes of this augmentation are for the prevention of terminations due to insufficient funding, unforeseen circumstances, portability cost increases, project-based vouchers, and VASH. After those categories are funded, any remaining funds are then prorated and distributed to PHAs. There are 2 scenarios of prevention of termination due to insufficient funding. The first scenario is of a PHA already in shortfall. At the time of completion of the set-aside application, the Housing Authority is working with the shortfall prevention team, and they have confirmed that the Housing Authority is indeed in shortfall. Also, the Housing Authority will have stopped issuing vouchers as of the date notified by the SPT. The exceptions to this are when the participants are issued vouchers to move, VASH vouchers are leased up to their total UMAs including turnover. Special purpose vouchers are awarded in calendar year 2018 or calendar year 2019, and when the PHAs can enter into project-based HAP contracts for units already under AHAP and can fill vacant project-based units. New in 2019 is an exception of issued litigation vouchers. PHAs must request and receive approval to continue leasing these vouchers. These requests will be reviewed on a case-by-case basis. The second scenario of prevention of termination due to insufficient funding is when a PHA has managed their program responsibly, but was in shortfall later that year. In both scenarios, the PHA must complete and submit a signed calendar year 2019 set-aside Appendix D. A determination of funding is required for shortfalls. HUD calculates this using the 2-year projection tool and compares all PHA resources available to the projected HAP expenses for the year. The resources include R&P, HUD-held reserves, calendar year 2019 budget authority and a portion of the incremental budget authority, and set-aside funds. The current leasing and expense data, suspension of vouchers, and projected attrition are used to calculate the projected expenses for the year. A housing authority anticipating a shortfall should contact their field office immediately. The application period for shortfalls remains open throughout the year 2019. However, PHAs facing shortfalls in October and November 2019 must submit applications by 5 p.m. Eastern, Friday, August 23, 2019, in order for HUD to provide the funds prior to the closeout of the federal fiscal year. PHAs with confirmed December 2019 shortfalls must submit their applications by 5 p.m. Eastern, Friday, November 8, 2019. The PHAs will be awarded their determined need for shortfall funds to end calendar year 2019 with 0 R&P and reserves. To qualify as an unforeseen circumstance, a situation occurred in or after the rebenchmarking period that the PHA could not have reasonably known of in advance and was out of their control. The submission requires a signed 2019 Appendix E, a detailed narrative of the circumstance, evidence to support that narrative, and the PHA's calculation of increased cost. To qualify for portability set-aside, the housing authority must have experienced a significant increase in renewal costs due to portability vouchers. HUD will calculate the amount awarded. The submission requires a signed 2019 Appendix E. To qualify for the project-based voucher set-aside, a PHA must have unused new construction or rehabilitated housing units during the calendar year 2018 re-benchmarking period. The adjustments will not exceed the number of unleased unit months. The submission requires specific sections of the executed AHAP as detailed in the notice. If executed, specific sections of the HAP also detailed in the notice, and signed set-aside appendices E, F, and G for each project requested. To qualify for VASH set-aside, the per-unit cost and leasing increased for VASH vouchers in calendar year 2018. HUD will calculate the eligibility. The submission requires a signed calendar year 2019 Appendix E. All set-aside applications must be received by 5 p.m. Eastern, Friday, May 31st, 2019. Applications may be submitted through the mail or electronically. If submitting by mail, please send to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, Office of Housing Voucher Programs, Attention Miguel Fontanez, Director, FMD, 451 7th Street Southwest, room 4226, Washington, D.C., 20410. If submitting electronically, please email the application to 2019 set-aside applications@hud.gov. I would like to now introduce you to Yasandra to continue the presentation.
Thank you, Andrea. For this calendar year 2019 admin fee, Congress appropriated $1.8 billion, for which $30 million of those $1.8 could be utilized to set aside for housing conversion special fees, fees for portability and home ownership special fees, and other special fees which I'll be talking about a little bit later. The admin fee funding is advanced monthly based on the latest reconcile eligibility. These reconciliations happen quarterly. For calendar year 2019, the proration is 79% right now. It's also important that PHAs must take action to reduce costs if fees and UNPs, also known as UNA, are insufficient. For more details about this, how the PHA can process these reduce of costs, they can go to the PIH Notice 2012-15, which discusses streamlining administrative practice to reduce the cost. It's also important that the HAP funds may not be used for admin fee costs. The calendar year 2019 admin fee rates are posted in our HCV website. The link is provided on the slide showing right now. The rates for 2019 are retroactively effective January 1st, 2019, meaning all fees funded by May was using 2018 rates, but will be retroactively paid using 2019 rates. PHAs requesting for higher admin fee rates or embedded fees, please be advised that the due date for both categories is May 31st, 2019. The admin fee rates request must be submitted to the FMC Financial Management Center, and for the blended fees request should be made to our division, the Financial Management Division, and no supporting data is needed for this request of the blended rates. All approvals are only effective for calendar year 2019. If the PHA applied for a blended rate or higher admin fee rate for calendar year 2018, it's very important that you still need to apply for calendar year 2019 now. As mentioned on the beginning of the presentation, I mentioned some categories under the special fee set aside, and the first one is homeownership fees. For every homeownership closing in PIC for HCV families who have become a homeowner through the HCV homeownership program and FSS program, HUD will pay $200. Also, HUD will also fund one-time special fees of $500 for each newly created homeownership program in calendar year 2019. Calculation and disbursement for both of these will be based on PIC reporting. No application is required. For multifamily housing conversion, there is only an incentive of $200 for each occupied unit on the date of the eligibility event. No separate application is required for this, and HUD will also calculate eligibility for this. Next, for the portability special fees is for PHAs administering port-ins vouchers which equal 20% or more of the PHA's total lease vouchers as of December 31st, 2018. The funding of this fee is 15% of PHA's column A rate for each port-in voucher for the 12 months. No application is required, and HUD will also calculate and disperse based on PIC data. Other category are special fees for audit costs by declaring a major HCV program or transfer per notices 2015-16 or 2018-12 respectively. And last but not least, the special fees category for PHAs experienced increasing in their admin fee as a result of administration of tenant protection rental assistance, disaster-related vouchers, HUD vouchers, and other special purpose incremental vouchers. Separate guidance for submitting special fee requests will be provided to all via email on a later date, including the submission deadlines for all these special fees. The department reserves the right to fund one, some, or all categories. Now Miguel will cover tenant protection vouchers.
Thank you, Sandra. For 2019, we were appropriated $85 million. This is the same amount we received in 2018. Tenant protection vouchers are provided, as many of you know, to protect families that are affected by either public housing, demolition, disposition actions, or multifamily conversion actions like prepayments, opt-outs, and let's say mod rehab replacements. In many instances, these TPVs actually mitigate that jurisdiction lost affordable housing units. So we are funding both occupied and unoccupied units if the unoccupied units were leased within a 24-month period. If you need a specific guidance on how to apply for tenant protection actions, go to Notice 2018-09, which is the funding notice for 2018. We did not describe or repeat the guidance provided in 2018-09 because it's very detailed, and we wanted just to give you any new policies in 2019 for that. 2018-09 is still current for any policy or any guidance related to applications of tenant protection actions. The new policy in 2019 for tenant protection actions is just the point in time where we count the 24 months for vacant units. We have two examples in the slide, number 34. If you can access those slides later on, you will see those examples. It's basically that prior to 2009, we were counting the 24 months from the time the application for funding reached my division or our division, Financial Management Division, for funding. Now the 24 months count for vacant units from the time of the SAC approval for demo dispo actions in the public housing portfolio, or when the triggering event of a multifamily action like the opt-out or the prepayment was approved. So from that point, 24 months before that, if that vacant unit was occupied, we will provide a tenant protection voucher for that unit. And this is in the spirit of keeping affordable housing units, the same number of affordable housing units in your jurisdiction. I'm going to pass it back to you, Sandra, so we can cover the special purpose vouchers that were awarded for 2019. Sandra?
Thank you, Miguel. Once again, the VASH funding is for this calendar year 2019. It's $40 million, and this is awarded based on geographic need. And HUD will issue comprehensive guidance for this competition on a later date. For tribal HUD-VASH renewals, the 2019 Act provides $4 million for rental assistance and associated admin fees to serve Native American veterans that are homeless or at risk of homelessness living on or near a reservation or other Indian areas. Any amount remaining after the renewals under this program may be used for new grants under this program as well. For further guidance from the Office of Native American Programs will be provided at a later date. Mainstream program, the 2019 Act provides $225 million, and mainstream voucher renewals will be based on validated mainstream program leasing and HAP expenses as reported in VMS for the entire calendar year 2018, in the same manner as other vouchers but in a separate renewal allocation. Administrative fees will be based on leasing as of the first of each month and will be prorated at the same level as the fees for the regular vouchers, which is 79% as I mentioned before. The 2019 Act also provides that any funding remaining available after funding renewals and admin expenses shall be available for incremental tenant-based assistance. HUD plans to award a portion of the funding made available through calendar year 2018 and 19 Appropriations Act through a NOFA that will be published later this same year. For the Family Unification Program, also known as FUB, we have $20 million for new incrementals. The 2019 Act also provides that any PHA administering voucher assistance appropriated in a prior act under FUB that determined that is no longer in need for such assistance upon turnover shall notify the Secretary, and these funds should be recaptured and reallocated to any other PHA that is actually in need. And HUD will also implement this provision through guidance in a NOFA that will also be provided at a later date. The mobility demonstration, this is a new demonstration for calendar year 2019. We have $25 million. And the purpose for this demonstration is to enable all PHAs to administer HCV assistance in a manner designed to encourage families with children to move to a lower poverty areas and expand access to opportunity areas. The department will publish a separate Federal Register notice to implement this mobility demonstration and announce the competition for this funding. So thank you, and I'm now with Miguel.
Well, thank you, Sandra. The last couple slides that we have are just related to PHAs continuing to be in compliance with the program and administering the program in a responsible manner. We know this is a budget-based program, and you have to live within your means and serve the most families you have within your budget authority and HUD Health reserve and any reserve that you still have in your bank account that has not been yet transitioned to HUD Health funds. However, if you need to implement cost-saving measures, we have a very good notice already published, 2011-28, which talks about rent reasonableness, stopping absorbing portability vouchers. You can even stop a portability move if you notify the field office on time, if the family wants to move to a higher cost area, or within your jurisdiction if they want to move to a higher cost unit. So there are several items that you can implement to cost some funding or save some funding in calendar year 2019. Yet if you are facing a shortfall and you believe that you can use other funds to supplement your HAP to keep those families in place, make sure that you look at Notice 2013-28, which stipulates that PHAs may not use outside funding sources to maintain or increase leasing. The only exception in that notice is if you're facing a shortfall. If you're facing a shortfall, you can use other funding in addition to administrative fee reserve that you know you can use for that. Finally, please continue to use the 2-year tool, which is updated regularly, and use the best data available from your PHA. Reach out to your field offices, compare what you're looking in the 2-year tool with what they're seeing. Make sure that they have the most updated data, because both the shortfall prevention team and the field offices are using the best data available, but you may have more recent data that we can use to determine whether you are facing a shortfall or not. At this time, I just want to say on behalf of the panel, Sandra Deya, Rachel Kennedy, and Andrea Benjamin, thank you for continuing to serve families in your jurisdiction under the Housing Choice Voucher Program. We serve over 2.2 million households, and that's a lot. And we will continue to serve those families. The Congress is supporting this program. As you see, $700 million more were awarded in 2019 in comparison with 2018. If you have any questions about this presentation of anything related to financial management on the Housing Choice Voucher Program, the last slide includes our mailbox, PIH Financial Management Division at HUD.gov. Again, it's PIH Financial Management Division at HUD.gov. And we will be able to respond to any questions you have. I guess on behalf of the Housing Choice Voucher Program, thank you for joining the presentation today, and we will see you next time. Thank you.